Welcome to another edition of the IU Women's Basketball Recap. I'm Robbie Howard alongside Joe Popley.
How's it going?
Tonight, the Hoosiers fall to the Michigan Wolverines 61 to 43. The Hoosiers drop to 10-9 and 1-5 in the Big Ten. Their fourth consecutive loss. Joe, what do you take away from tonight's game?
Very disappointing, and this is definitely the most heartfelt post-game presser we've had out of Kurt Miller. And he said, I haven't been up here and felt this disappointed from a game. And I'm just paraphrasing, but the reason he felt that way is because this is the first rematch of the season for IU, and against Michigan in Ann Arbor, the Big Ten opener on January 3rd. Miller said he felt like they left some opportunities out there, that they had a good game plan, and that they just left some shots out there that they should have made. It was the same story this time, and probably worse, actually, as IU shoots about 26% from the game, and they got down early. They were even through about the first 11-plus minutes, but Michigan started to pull away, and IU made a couple of second-half runs, but it's just much too little, much too late, and this team is just so limited offensively that Kurt said he was frustrated for his players that they don't have more offensive talent. That's about as nicely as he could have put it.
Yeah, and you could really tell, like you said, Joe, it was a really heartfelt message from Coach tonight, saying that he sort of takes it upon himself that once his team plays a team the second time in the season, he feels like it's his job as an X's and O's coach to really draw up a game plan that he thinks will be able to beat them. He said he takes great pride in the chess game of basketball, and he felt like going into tonight that he and his staff had put a lot of work in and they'd come up with a really solid game plan. And to their credit, for most of the game they did, and they got some very good looks, some very manageable looks tonight, but it's tough to win a game when you shoot 26%.
Yeah, and I think I legitimately felt for him because I thought they did have a game plan. They smothered Aulani Sinclair on the perimeter like they always do, but that opened it up for Nicole Bell, the three-point shooter off the bench. She actually had a nice night with 11 points, 3 of 7 from 3, 4 of 9 from the field. But basically, the post players gave zero production. I mean, almost zero production. 3 of 20 from the field from all 4 front court players, that being Linda Rubinay and Simone DeLoach, the starters, and then Sasha Chaplin and Malika Taufa off the bench. And he noted, Miller did, that the starting post players did not score a basket in the final 39 minutes and 48 seconds. That's just devastating, and that was one area they could have taken advantage against a 2-3 zone. They did hit 7 threes. Miller said he wishes the percentage were higher, but it was his goal that they should get at least 6 or 7 made threes against the zone, and they did that, but it's hard to win when your post gives you zero production. So once again, it was almost a repeat, only worse, of the first time they played Michigan. That I can't tell you how many shots within 5-10 feet of the basket that were open looks that they should have made. And Robbie, I think at one point I leaned over to you and said, I wonder if they keep an official stat for rim outs, because they would have at least 5 or 6. So they had a lot of shots just not fall, and it was a tough luck night, but at the same time they've got to make those go.
I think the thing that really hurts tonight is you look at the scoring, and something we kind of joked about, that if you would believe it, IU had 3 people scoring double figures tonight. Aulani Sinclair scores 14. She moves up to the number 20 all-time leading scorer in IU history with 1,017 points. 11 from Nicole Bell off the bench, and then 10 points from Jasmine McGee, who continues her strong play. But then outside of that, I mean, you get hardly anything. Outside of those 3 players, there were a combined 6 points scored by the rest of the team. And it's just tough to win games like that. And so really this team just needs to find a solid post scorer, because right now you're getting great points from obviously Aulani Sinclair and Jasmine McGee. Tonight, Nicole Bell really stepped up off the bench, and it seemed like, to me, she was really attacking more than she had in the past, with 9 field goal attempts tonight. She said that it was her job, since teams are really smothering Aulani, that it's her job to step up and make shots off the bench, and she's a solid perimeter threat.
Yeah, and Simone DeLoach has now started the last 4 games, I believe, for IU in Big Ten play, and has been less effective. I know you asked Kurt, would you be willing to reshuffle the lineup and put Malika back in the starting lineup, and he said anything's on the table, but we're a 4-headed post monster, so we have to get a little bit of everything from each player. So in the end, IU falls 61-43. They go to 10-9. 1-5 Michigan, number 23 Michigan, moves to 16-3 and 5-1 in Big Ten play. Do you know who's next up? I haven't had a chance to look at the schedule, but I think we're back here on Sunday.
Yes.
No, the men play.
No. Yes. Next up, Monday.
Monday.
Team
okay.
travels to Evanston, plays Northwestern on Monday.
There you have it. They'll go to Northwestern, the lone Big Ten team.
They're
that
one
they've
Big
beaten,
Ten.
So they just got swept by one opponent, but Northwestern's kind of in the cellar with them, so I think they have a chance to get a sweep of their own on Monday.
Yeah, one more point I want to touch on before we finish this up. IU trailed by as many as 24 points in the second half, but they were able to put a nice little run together. Aulani Sinclair actually said after the game that she felt the run was due in part to the team boxing out, and the team did tie on rebounds tonight with the Wolverines, 38 rebounds for each team. IU actually out-rebounded the Wolverines on the offensive end, 18-10. So that was a positive statistic for the Hoosiers tonight.
But I have to interject, too, that unfortunately the 18 offensive rebounds are practically negated by the fact that they just couldn't find the netting. They couldn't find the bottom of the basket. So those 18 offensive rebounds are great, but they went for naught most of the time.
But the Hoosiers were able to cut it down to a 13-point deficit late in the first half. It looked like maybe they'd have a little chance for a run, and then Michigan really did close the door. But we'll see what's up next for this team on Monday as they try to snap their 4-game winning streak at Northwestern.
Losing streak.
Losing streak, thank you.
Great end to a video. So long, everybody.